Hi there. Welcome back to another quick and easy watercolor painting. This is a 3/4 inch flat brush. I got a 140-pound piece of watercolor paper taped onto my board, and you can see that's pretty wet. I want to have it pretty evenly wet, sort of top to bottom. We're going to use, I'm going to keep using this big brush just for a matter of time, but you use whatever brush you want to use and just kind of allude to some sky there. And I'm not going to pick up any more water. I'm not going to rinse this off. I'm going to put this right into my blue, and I'm just going to put some blue across like that, maybe just a couple of strokes, and let that all bleed together into that Payne's gray. And whatever you get is what you get. Don't worry about it. Don't fret about it too much. I'm going to take this and put it into my Payne's gray. And I got a little puddle of Payne's gray going on here. So I'm just going to bring this sort of down as a hill. And you see I'm tapping the brush. I'm not doing any more brush strokes. I'm just tapping that brush onto there. And I'm going to maybe do a couple of streaks like that to allude to where some land would be. Again, I'm not going to rinse this brush out. I'm going to put this brush directly onto my Payne's gray, pick up a little bit of pigment, and just, again, tap this into that line where that hill is. Still using this same big brush. A couple of quick streaks across there, and don't do any more than that. Just let that all, you can see that water starting to carry that paint. Water starting to carry the paint up here. Don't do any more than that. Just let it go to wherever it's going to go to. I'm again going to take this same brush, put it into the Payne's gray. So what I'm doing is I'm bumping up the saturation. The first layer was unsaturated, wet on wet. Then I put the blue on there, which was wet on wet. Then I picked up the Payne's gray from the puddle, which was wet on wet. Then I touched that brush to the dry paint. That would be dry on wet. And again, this would be more pigment onto here, which is now again dry on wet. You see it really it makes the saturation level increase significantly. Now I am going to rinse my brush out because I'm going to pick up some of this right here, which is sienna. And I'm really trying to limit my palette for this particular group of, for the quick and easy watercolor paintings. I'm trying to limit it to just a very, very few colors. I'm going to take this brush, and again, I'm going to put it into just into the pure color. But I didn't rinse it off or anything. And we're just going to let that all blend together and see what we get. Now at this point, I'm going to take my, this is a #1 watercolor brush, and I've just sharpened the wood, the other end of it, and I'm going to use that to scribe through some of this paint. And just add some brush, maybe some small trees or some grass, and I'm just going to drag that through the paint and leave a little mark on the page. You see how that sort of turned into a tree right there without us doing anything? I'm not going to touch that. I'm just going to leave it. We're going to do a little bit more here, maybe some more down here, wherever it is, on your painting that you want to add some definition. The other thing that you can do is, you can scribe some lines, going across like this, whatever it is that you want to do. So now I'm going to take this same brush, I'm going to rinse it off. I'm going to pick up this yellow ochre. Okay, so I got a little puddle of yellow ochre here. Just going to pick that up. I'm going to touch that into a few places. And again, the same deal. I'm going to take this, after putting that wet on wet there, I'm going to put this brush right onto pigment. And then I'm going to put this, pick up a little bit more, put this right into, this is where I'm really having some fun with this. I'm sort of liking the color combinations that are going on in there. And I think at this point we should just let it dry, just walk away. Right? Walking away is hard. I know it is, believe me. And we'll see what we get. Okay, so I took my hairdryer and dried that up, but look at how this turned out super cool back here. I mean, this dark spot here is very, very interesting. You can see the lines of the original strokes with the Payne's gray in there kind of gives it a lot of depth of field. The way that this blue has mixed together with this, I mean, you could just leave this just the way it is, just, frame it like that. It's perfectly fine. All right. But that's not what we're going to do. I'm going to take my Sharpie pen here and I'm going to add a whole bunch of trees on this 1/3 of this. So the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to pick a starting point and I'm just going to pull my line up like this. I'm going to go over it and just going to start at the bottom every time, most times. And I'm just going to keep drawing my lines until I get the branches the way that I want them to be. And then I'm going to move on to the next tree. It's a very simple thing to do, but yet it's very effective. I want this tree to be a little bit thicker because it's getting a little bit too thick up there. And just draw some small branches off like that. And do the same thing again. Put a couple more trees in here. There's going to be a bit of like a thicket, I guess we would call it in Canada. I don't know what you would call it where you are from. Maybe you can let me know what you might call it. I'll draw a couple more up here in the front. And again, we're just going to try to keep these very loose, very free, but at the same time, just, filling in the space. Just like that. That's pretty much what it was that I was thinking about. So, you can also take your pen and add some more, if you want to add some more brush or, highlight some particular area for a particular reason, do that. Like that. Let's put our map back on here and see what we got. Yeah, that turned out pretty cool. All right, thanks a lot for watching. If you're currently a subscriber, thanks a lot. And if you're not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'd love to hear from you. If you got a question or a comment, please leave it in the comment section. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you again next time.